every carnivorous animal should die so long as it results in less suffering and death for the prey species or for us, because we can be affected by these things too. So it's not necessarily every single carnivorous animal. It's every single carnivorous animal when the end result would be less suffering and death for the prey species.
So as long as it equates to less suffering and death for the prey animal, or even for us, it's okay. Hang on to that idea, because we're going to go back to it at the end. But basically, this is saying that, we're omnivores, right? So wouldn't it be less suffering for us since we require these foods to maintain our health and to thrive? So basically he's saying it's okay to eat animals. That's basically what he just said.
I don't know what the hell this has to do with fairness. Okay. Yeah, like they were born that way. They can't help but be carnivorous animals. I don't see how that's a justification for them to just keep murdering. There are people who are born psychopaths who, through no fault of their own, they can't empathize with other human beings. And again, through no fault of their own, they were given like shitty parents who didn't treat them well, and they end up becoming sadistic psychopaths who end up killing and murdering people for fun. It's not fair that like they have to be locked up or killed because that's the only way to stop them from killing. Like, how does fairness play into this equation?
It doesn't have anything to do with fairness. What in the hell are you talking about? This is your imaginary, stupid stance that you came up with because of fairness, because that's why you're vegan, right? Because it's not fair that all of these cute little fuzzy animals have to die. So, so this is why you want to kill the carnivores. And then you just realize, oh, but they can't help it because they were born this way. They required these foods to eat. And then you start talking about psychopaths like yourself that may or may not have been born that way. You can't prove that. So they're masochistic. So people like yourself that are masochistic, and this has nothing to do with your argument. Your thing. This is your thing. Your stance that you made up about fairness for prey animals. And we're talking about this because predators require these animals for food. We're talking about what these animals are eating. We're not talking about psychopathic tendencies.
Predator species don't really do much, if anything, to actually control prey populations. Human poaching, things like habitat loss, shit like that. That is the major factor. Like those are major factors that control populations of prey species.
Y'all remember the beginning?
I think every carnivorous animal should die so long as it results in less suffering and death for the prey species. Or for us.
He would just kill the ones that are affecting prey lives. But now, predators aren't really making much of a difference on prey lives. So that's a non-issue now, right? The vegan gains, I remember in elementary school, we learned the food chain. Maybe I'll have to put up a chart here. So it doesn't have to be fair. It doesn't have to be about protecting prey lives. What is this about? Like, what are we even talking about at this point? So he mentions fox and how foxes eat rabbits. Well, so do dogs. And so do, those big machines that go through and get your corn and soy out of those crops. They kill all the babies. I've talked about this numerous times on my channel. But Richard, if you're watching this, those machines kill the babies. No, they do not hear it and go and run and alert all their friends and take off running because yes, it's loud, it's very loud, but when it comes through there, they have nests. Nests, they put these everywhere. Tall grass crops are a perfect place for their little nests of rabbits, and they leave them there. And the rabbits, their protection is to stay put. Deer will do the same thing, and they stay. They do not run, when they hear loud noises or anything like that. They stay and they wait on mama. And so that's who gets killed. It's the babies. I know you don't really care about babies or anything, but that's who's getting killed for the most part. And we used to go on walks with my dogs, and they would find these little nests as well in the grass. They could sniff them out. You would never see them, like just walking down, even walking through the crop, you wouldn't see them. They're well hidden, for the rabbits anyway. The deer, you might see them if you're walking up on them. But the dogs can sniff them out, and they go for them, and they kill them. And guess what else? This is really weird. This is really bizarre. But guess what else? If the fox population were to die out, and carnivorous dogs that are going and eating rabbits as well, hawks, prey birds, rabbits would become overpopulated. Yes, I know, that's really weird. That's really weird. I would never, I would never have thought. But yeah, that would happen. And then the rabbits would have to be killed to protect your crops, as they already are being killed, because they would eat up your crops. And then I guess we could circle back and be like, well, it's okay because, remember at the beginning you said if it protected human lives, it's okay to kill them. Okay, so then we're going to circle back and say it's okay to kill them because we have to protect our lives because we need this nutrition. So just eat the rabbit.
Okay, then if we need to kill them to protect our food, then great. I still don't see an argument being made.
I don't think vegans realize how much these herbivore animals, especially the rodents and stuff, how their population can just explode. They could literally take over the world.
Please provide evidence that the predatory species like, I don't know, wolves, bears, coyotes, foxes, can you actually provide evidence that any of these animals do make any significant difference to, rabbit population?
I think he's asking for basic math, common sense, reality. The basic reality that led him to come to this imaginary stance of killing predator animals to begin with. This is how he came to. And now he's asking for proof that would even help. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Thank you for getting ready with me this morning.
Bears, coyotes, foxes, can you actually provide evidence that any of these animals do make any significant difference to, rabbit population?
Think your idea through. There needs to be some type of a simulation machine that can show vegans the Armageddon of their dreams. Because that's what they're dreaming of. Fortunately, Vegan Gains ain't got no. He is not going to pick up a gun and shoot anything. He's not going to do anything. He's going to sit there and talk. So it's really not that deep, but it's deep when you look at the mental illness behind it. What do you think this world would look like with no predators?
Okay, cool.